Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74. We're going to do a little tech therapy today, and I want to do this video while it is fresh in my mind and something that I just did a few hours ago. We talk about tech advice as it pertains to our lives, how it fits into our daily lives, and we try to talk a lot about being present while we're enjoying the tech that we love and not being so critical of picture quality, frame rate, performance, to the point to where it keeps us from actually playing that game or enjoying that content or watching that movie if we're constantly into the settings and constantly changing things. It keeps us from being present and being in the moment. And what I want to do is talk about, I give advice, I take advice. But what's more important than giving advice and taking advice is taking your own advice. And I was thinking about you guys today. Quick story, actually was a few days ago when Gears 5 launched on Xbox. So I downloaded the game the night before. My buddy came over, returned the OLED that I had rented. I bring him downstairs, dude, check out this game. We're going to play it in co-op in a few days. And, as soon as I load my Xbox, usually you hear that little ding that Xbox Live is enabled, it signs you in, and didn't hear that sound. I look, connect to the internet. Please connect. Okay, didn't sign in. So I do what many of us have done. You re-sign in, you realize, okay, let me check all my other connections, let me check my PC, my PlayStation, check everything, and certain things are online, certain things aren't. Do all the steps, reboot your router, reboot your modem, unplug it, unplug LAN cables. I have a HDMI switch, an Ethernet switch, unplug that. I was getting weaker signal, doing the same thing that we all do, our signal check. My point is that within about, a few seconds, I was fully immersed in that. Probably spent about 30 minutes without even checking to see if there was an outage in my area, because we had, the hurricanes all over the country that had left the Bahamas and hit the Carolinas. And we had some high winds here in Connecticut. So since I had partial online, I didn't think it was a real outage. So here I am doing that same thing. My point is each one of those steps doesn't take a few seconds. It takes a while to reboot the PC. It takes a while to reboot the Xbox, to wait a few minutes. And in the meantime, I got more and more frustrated. And while I'm being frustrated because it's a long day at work, it's when I show my buddy this game before I go with the rest of my day. It can easily set you off to this kind of woe is me thought process. It sounds ridiculous, real world problems. So I figure out that it's actually an outage, that my entire area, even in New York, Brooklyn, they were out. A lot of you guys were out. Complete cable being out, which is also a testament to physical media, to your Blu-rays, your 4K Blu-rays. We don't even lose power, but you do lose cable. You lose cable, all those amazing devices just don't function as far as streaming. So we just appreciate that physical media, keep supporting it, keep buying it. But while I'm, return the OLED and my buddy didn't see the game, I'm making dinner. In the meantime, there's all the wreckage from the Bahamas. They won't have power for weeks. And they say to yourself, wow, I was really just complaining about losing service for probably a few hours. It ended up being for a few days and got it all plugged in. Everything works great. That was only a few days ago, but I digress. The story, what I mean about being present and taking my own advice, is when things don't function properly, or when things function properly, it's hard enough to be present. How many times have you watched that movie and you're watching that show with your family, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, whatever, and you keep grabbing that remote and you keep changing it, and I don't know how that looks, and that sounds crazy to a lot of people. It shouldn't sound crazy to many of you in the community, as a lot of us are that way. And we're always focusing on what to purchase next and is this good enough? When do I upgrade? Should I upgrade? Well, many of us already have very capable displays, and that is probably most prevalent in the PC community and video game community. I am a PC gamer, I am a console gamer, and this will all circle around. So Gears of War 5, it's amazing on the Xbox. I have the Game Pass transferred over to the PC. actually runs flawlessly on the PC. I have a 1080 Ti. It actually runs really well. Did a few videos on it and realized that I hadn't downloaded the drivers for it. And it still ran well. I mean, the Windows really the download was amazing. The HDR implementation, how it was enabled, was flawless. A lot of times HDR through Windows is a challenge. It has to be enabled outside. Anyway, it works perfect. I had an issue with Windows about a month and a half ago where it wasn't downloading all the way. It was saying everything was all set. This isn't really a PC rant, but shows you how quickly it can pull you completely out of it. The challenge I have, now unless you're a PC savant or you're somebody who knows PCs inside and out, you're super techie that way, you can figure this out. This video isn't going to pertain to you. You can actually click completely off of it because it's not going to make sense to you. And this isn't about knowing PC or knowing tech intimately. It's about how it can rob you of your entire night. To me, the dirtiest word in tech is intermittent. When something works, kind of, sometimes pops in, pops out, doesn't really work. And you can wait for that to happen again. And with PC, my Windows was having a hard time downloading, which locked me out of my Windows Store. This was about a month and a half ago. Ended up disconnecting all my USB. Got all the Windows stuff finally taken care of. Windows Store was reinstalled. Got my Forza back. Got all my games back. And was having a hard time with GeForce Experience, if you guys are familiar with NVIDIA. So, couldn't get into that. That was having all kinds of errors. But the PC is running perfect. The game is running perfect. Gears runs amazing. Even though there's a little prompt from Windows saying that I don't have the current drivers. No issues with the 1080 Ti. But I kept getting errors with the GeForce Experience. So I contacted them today. I only had about an hour or two to spare in my day. And got them online and we're chatting back and forth. And it turns out Windows was still trying to download something else. And here I am now trying to force a download, force an update, and the computer continuously crashes. Then I had the NVIDIA want me to do a clean install of my drivers. While I do a clean install of my drivers, my computer crashes while removing the drivers. So now there isn't even an NVIDIA control panel, and the computer can't stay stable. Now, I'm not looking for any of you guys to figure that out. I'll be figuring it out soon enough. But the point is 3 hours later, nothing had changed. There was probably 2 or 3 dozen times where I should have just stepped away and said, enjoy something else. Go back to my day, figure something else out. And that pertains to everything, not just your TVs. A lot of us have issues with our TVs or there's defective. I suggest that when you're doing that and it gets to be, all encompassing and you can't step away from it, immediately step away from it. Take a break from it. Move to something else. Grab an iPad, grab your computer, start to stream. Play a different game. Now, for me, I have so many games and so many different systems that it's foolish. The PC is not my only platform. And if you are somebody who only has one platform, I understand where it could drag you in. But while I'm going through this and I'm talking to NVIDIA and I'm pretty much have to do a totally clean install on Windows, which I don't feel like re-downloading my games. The point is, it's hours and hours. You add that to the other Windows issues, that was hours and hours where the games would load, you're playing about a half an hour, they crash. Then there's the plug and play consoles, but didn't have internet a few days ago. But there is that advantage. While I'm doing all this and I'm getting kind of angry, impatient, especially as the time goes away, and that's the duality of it. The duality is you're spending time, you're wasting time. There isn't a result. You didn't change it or fix it. And then you didn't get anything for it. So it's a lot like going to a pizza place who messes up your order and then you leave with nothing. Meaning you spent the time, you ordered your food, you went there, you didn't get any food, and you went home. And that's pretty much my analogy. My computer is more down than it was when I started this. I should have just left it alone, played it without the drivers. But by doing all of that, now my computer is an absolute mess. Now I'll figure it out. It's not the problem. The problem is probably an hour or two, so I should have realized before, you're done, dude. Unplug it, stop restarting. And if you guys are familiar with restarting your PC and restarting it and letting things download as the PC begins to take its updates and these cumulative updates, it takes them, it's pending, it's pending, it downloads, and then as it gets to 90%, it'll fail. Shut the PC off, it'll start up again, revert back to itself. That stuff actually can take a long time, but you have to see it through. You walk away, it crashes, whatever. I have to rebuild it anyway. But the point I'm trying to make is when you have difficulty with tech, your surround sound's not working right, your sound bar is not connecting, your Blu-ray player is not working. Once the frustration mounts, move to something else. Literally move to something else. Move on to another form of tech or get away from tech completely. For me, as I'm going through this, I get my notification for the PS4 version of Modern Warfare, which smacked me in the face, basically saying like, hey dude, you have other options. Don't be a spoiled brat. Go play one of the other systems or go do something else. So there's that guilt of wasting that time, not getting a result, and realizing that it is wasted time. We always say there's not really wasted time or stupid questions, but I think in tech, we're taking everything apart and we know we're going to get in it. If anyone's ever said to you like, hey, we're going to leave in a few minutes, can you be like, no, I got it. I'm going to just download this or whatever. And I think you feel that way if you're working on cars or you're working on anything that you're in depth with. You start to realize that you've spent hours and hours and nothing has come of it. And you start to feel that. And I think that's why there are so many negative people in our space, why there's so much toxicity and there's so much anger. I think we can feel isolated by our own tech. The things that we own do own us. And what's funny is the things that we own typically aren't the ones that we need. Your oven, your refrigerator, your microwave, whatever, your washer, dryer. It's the things that we own for luxury that tend to paralyze us, that tend to make us the most worried. When you're buying TVs, did I buy the right one? If this all makes no sense to you, then this video is completely not for you. But many of us can get paralyzed by it, especially in the PC community where you're talking about your FPS and its stability issues. Is there stutter? There's such an open media, so it's such an open, flexible thing that it almost makes there's too much tweaking. There can be something wrong. You pop in a game in your console, it runs well or it doesn't. There's not a lot of ways to fix it. But when you have so much flexibility, there's also flexibility for things to go wrong. Is there stutter, micro stutter? Is that hitching? What's going on? It's very, very rarely about playing the game sometimes. And I am definitely guilty of that. That's why you won't see in my videos me doing FPS counters and usage for CPU and GPU. It's got to be where I was looking at that and not looking at the game. But I learned a valuable lesson that I've definitely talked about with you guys is no matter what it is, I don't care if your TV is unplugged and all your devices, we've all done it. HDMI cables over here, you got this over here, you got that laptop open, everything's open. Just walk away from it before it exhausts you. Just walk away from it. Just step away and realize I can't do it right now. We all have different things that are happening in our life. All of us have different struggles. We have different responsibilities. Some of us have kids, some of us don't. No one's time is more valuable. If you're a single person that watches this video and doesn't have kids, your life is as busy and as hectic as it is to you. For those of us that have 1 kid, 2 kids, the person that has 3 kids thinks the person that has 2 kids' life, it doesn't really matter. All of our time is so valuable, and we tend to waste it on things that only frustrate us. Tech being something that so many of us love and we're passionate about. I think about it constantly. I think about when I go on vacations, how this beach or this, setting reminds me of my favorite movie. I've done videos on that. That's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite things about my own personality is I love these things. To me, when you're like how we are, it's always Christmas or whatever holiday. It's always your birthday. There's always something to look forward to. New games, new consoles, new movies. I like sports, TVs. There's always exciting things coming. And it's stressful when it's going well. It's hard to be present when it's going well, when it's perfect, because it's never perfect. But God forbid there's a defect. The channel was started because of defective displays, and they robbed me of hours and money and time, time that I didn't spend with my family or on myself or with my fitness or anything. They literally robbed me. This is why the channel exists. This is why this community is here. It's not here just to talk about the new TVs and talk. There's a million channels that do that, guys. This is a tech therapy channel, and to share what I feel, and hope that you can relate to it or disagree with it. But if any of you guys go through the things that I go through with this, now this isn't a boo-hoo hardship thing. What I bring up about everybody else's lives and what they have going on, the things that we love are in addition to that, right? So if you're busy or you have money or don't have money, you're working 10 jobs or whatever, the tech that we have is in addition. We spend money for it, but it's meant to serve us, to be relaxing. You come home, long day, you turn something on, you watch it. That's your downtime. And in gaming and in tech, I remember when surround sound, I had a 5.1 system years ago, a Yamaha receiver, and that's why I brought up the word intermittent. One of the channels just kept going out. And I would sit there and be watching a movie, and if you love surround sound, you love the separation and the surround sound. I still love that. And one of the channels kept going out, and it would make me nuts. And I never thought to just unplug it and just enjoy it as is. I never thought to just, I have so many games that it's unbelievable. I'm so behind on them, and I'm still focused on getting the PC to run perfectly, even though I haven't touched the games that are on it. And Gears of War is a perfect example. It's perfectly fine on the Xbox. And here I am wanting to now upgrade my computer tomorrow. CPU, motherboard, memory, I'll spend at least $1,100 or $1,200 doing that. I don't need to do that right now. But that's what I mean about all-encompassing. When I wanted a new TV or I wanted the Vizio to bring to the channel, that was going to cut everything else because I wanted that. I wanted to do it. I wanted to focus on it. And you have to have priorities and realize what is a priority. And will I enjoy this? Will this add to my life or will this take from my life? If you're buying a display or upgrading at the wrong time, is that going to put you in a worse situation or a worse mindset? We talk a lot about buyer's remorse. We talk a lot about the things we love taking from us instead of giving to us. It's very basic math. In anything, your relationships, your friendships, it has to be basic math. Addition, subtraction. If you take more than you add, it just doesn't work. If you're stressing more about your TVs, if you're stressing more about your computers, I've thought about getting out of PC gaming for that reason. I don't have the time to take them apart. I don't have the time to research. Now, PC gaming is amazing. I will tell you, being a console gamer and a PC gamer, when PC is at its best, it's not close. I will tell you that is my opinion. I mean, it's not even in the same universe. It's not close. However, it's such a fickle thing. So many things can go wrong. So many things can change. Today, no update from NVIDIA, separate company, problems with Windows. Those things messed each other up. Perfect, whack. Now the game won't run. No problems with that with my Xbox or my PS4 Pro or whatever. But wanting to get out of PC gaming is a knee-jerk reaction that isn't going to happen. But the whole point of the video is if you find you guys are getting stressed, and that's what this channel is for. If you've had experiences like this, then this is the video where I want you to comment and tell me if you can relate to this. If you've had those situations where you found, as you were focused on this, time was just dissipating behind you, that it was just running out, whether your family or you missed time with your friends because I'm going to focus on this right here, and realize you probably would be better addressing it tomorrow. And for me and my PC, I took everything, I unplugged it, disconnected it, just like, you're going to hang out here. I don't care if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There's a million other things for me to do, a million other games for me to play. And that was kind of a sign that I want to share with you guys. While I'm getting all these NVIDIA emails and Microsoft emails about the computer, I get this little Call of Duty, hey, your beta code is here, which was not done well last Black Ops 4. But this is a rambling video, but these what these tech therapy videos are about, guys. Live in the moment, always. Let tech serve you. Don't let it take from you. Don't let it rob you or make you frustrated or make you afraid or make you insecure. It can do that. And what's lonely about that is most of us are battling that alone. Most of us are in that basement or in that bedroom trying to figure it out. And we're on forums and we're, looking at this and all these devices are open. None of that is empowering. None of that makes me walk away feeling better or stronger. It just makes me feel tired. And realizing that when you start to feel that way, literally just back away. And check out your favorite show, pop on a Blu-ray, play something else, play your Game Boy, your Switch, whatever. Just step away from it. Because believe me, with PC and home theater, I can't tell you how many times right before bed I'm behind that TV with 10 HDMI cables and I'm hard resetting, and all these things take time to reboot, to only have them run for a few minutes and then crash. You're not going to solve it tonight. And that's what my wife, who is an IT person, was telling me. You're not going to solve it tonight. And you're just getting more and more frustrated. And for these things, tech, TV, to make us angry, to make us frustrated, they're not serving you. They're taking from you. So they should serve you. They're there for you as something to relax, something to enjoy. Do not let them rob you and make you negative and make you toxic. Because you better believe when I sent that email back to NVIDIA, I was like, this is why I want to get out of PC gaming. I realized I need to say that. This person doesn't know me. And that I wanted to pass to you is I give advice, I take advice, but it's most important to take your own advice. Be present, guys. Enjoy your tech. Live with it. Enjoy every second of it. Enjoy that TV. Enjoy that computer. But if you find that it's starting to dominate you a little bit and it's starting to become a little bit of an obsession of how it looks and your pixel, step away from it. Rely on your family members. Don't isolate yourself. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to us here and just step away. This is a tech therapy video. We'll be doing these every 4 or 5 videos, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But the state of mind is be present, step away, let technology serve you instead of it taking from you. All right, guys, I am Brian from Whisper Status. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.